Hey gamers, Rob from ZborGaming here, and today we have another weapon guide, and we are looking at the new Season 4 assault rifle, the CR-56 AMAX, also known as the Galil. So, let's take a look at this weapon and see what it's all about. So, like I said, it's an assault rifle. This is unlocked in the Season 4 Battle Pass at Tier 31, which is a free unlock once you hit that tier. Max weapon level is 68. It shoots a 7.62 round. It's a full automatic. And right now I've got it at about an above average rating. I'll get into a lot more detail about the weapon here. As far as the camo requirements, these are standard in the assault rifle class. As far as base stats, this has pretty high damage. It does 56 to the head, 42 to the chest, and 35 to the stomach and limbs. And the base damage range is 0 to 22.5 meters. Mag size is 30 bullets, and it has a 620 RPM fire rate. ADS speed is middle to lower half of the assault rifle class at 259 milliseconds, and the reload time is about 2.8 seconds. I've got a couple loadout suggestions here, and I'll go through these three loadouts in detail later as far as their recoil patterns and talk about them a little bit more. Also have all the attachments listed here for the CR-56, as well as all of the unlock levels. Now, if you want to see some of these screens and infographics in more detail, head over to ZborGaming.com. I'll have a link in the description below to the AMAX page, which will have a lot of these images on them as well, so you can spend some more time there taking a look and figuring out, if you want to look at unlock levels or recoil patterns, loadouts, etc. I'll have all that information there. So, moving on, again, I've got sort of two loadouts, I'd say more preferred loadouts. One is a low recoil accuracy setup, and another one is one that you can use in Warzone. The Warzone setup, if you don't like running with an optic, you could swap that out for either no optic or put a reflex or whatever type sight you want on there. But this is a solid loadout for Warzone. As far as some of the advanced statistics, the CR-56 does have several drop-off ranges, 22.5, 40, and 56.5, and then there's anything over 56.5. Movement speed is pretty standard in the assault rifles at 94%, and the ADS strafe speed is around 50%, 48.5, somewhere right around there. Recoil pattern, kicks to the left and strong up. It's basically the exact opposite of the AK-47, which kicks right, goes up. As far as some of the specialized attachments for the CR-56, we do have 3 barrels. The FSS Intruder increases your ADS speed, movement speed, the extent of bullet velocity and recoil control, and you will lose about 17% on your damage range, so that will drop that base damage range down to 18.5 meters at the first drop-off level. The Zodiac barrel will dramatically increase your damage range up to 0 to 31.5, about a 40% increase. You do get some recoil control. You do lose 3 frames on your ADS speed and about 1% on your movement speed, which really isn't too bad. Your Squall barrel will ADS about 1 frame faster, and you will lose about 10% on your bullet velocity. Not a whole lot really going on with that barrel, frankly. The stock, you do get a CR-56 EXO, which is basically a skeleton stock for all purposes. Your ADS strafe speed will increase about 10 to 15% faster. I don't have an exact number on that, but you will get a nice boost to your strafe speed, about 2 frames faster on your ADS speed at the expense of a little bit of aim stability. Now, here is where it gets a little interesting. We do have a 45 round mag attachment, which is good, and the penalties really aren't that bad. Around 1 frame ADS speed and 1% movement speed, not too bad for the extra, basically 50% boost in ammo. Now, the 7.62 rounds, I'll go into a lot more detail on these here. You do get faster ADS speed, increased damage, movement speed, as well as bullet velocity, but you only get 10 rounds and it turns the gun into a semi-automatic. It also drops that rate of fire down to 312 RPM, so it basically cuts the rate of fire in half for this weapon. Now, what's interesting about these 7.62 rounds is that a headshot up close will give you 100 damage, which makes the CR-56 AMAX the only assault rifle capable of a one-shot kill. So, if we look at some of the ADS speed attachments, a lot of your standard attachments, your close quarter stocks, your nose stock, your skeleton stock, your 10 round mags, that M67 ammo, and then you've got a couple barrels, the intruder and the squall, as well as your stipple wrap and tack laser. Those will all help you ADS faster, so you do have a lot of options here. You can see you can put a grip, a barrel, a laser, a stock, and the ammo on. 5 attachments, all to speed up your ADS speed. As far as your recoil control, I'll get into a lot more detail here. Mostly all the standard attachments apply. As far as your barrels, you will get increased recoil control with your Zodiac and decrease with your intruder, and I'll show you how much you'll get on both of those. Your base recoil pattern, like you can see here, it kicks a little left and then it sort of drifts up and then back to the right. Now, if we take a look at some of the damage in the different game modes, as far as hardcore, this weapon will be a one-shot kill at all those base ranges, and for all of everything except for, I believe it's limb shots, and I'll show you here the graph in a few minutes. As far as multiplayer and Warzone, 100 health, you will do either 2 or 3 shots to kill, typically in this base damage range. Now for the 10 round mags, here's where you get that one-shot headshot kill, up to 3 shots to the limbs. Now in Warzone, a fully armored enemy in Warzone, at the base damage range, it will take 5, 6, or 8 bullets to kill with the base ammo, and 3, 5, or 6 with the M67 ammo. So this ammo is quite potent in Warzone. You get some very fast time to kills, but keep in mind it is a semi-automatic. Now, I did another video on this, the CR-56, and in there I was a little off on the overall damage range. I get a lot of my data from Mutant Media. They have a really great app called Hey Potato. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. I believe it's on iOS as well as Android. It's an awesome app. I highly recommend it. Well, they jumped the gun a little bit and missed this last damage range. So if you watch my other video, you'll see I do have this going all the way out. But the CR-56 is basically most closest in damage profile to the AK-47. It's, in a sense, a mini clone of the AK. However, you can see here that under 40 meters, the CR-56 will outperform the AK-47 almost across the board as far as time to kill and bullets to kill. Just this little section right in here, stomach and limb shots between about 22 to 27 meters, the AK will kill quicker. You can see that pretty much anything over 40 meters, for the most part, the AK-47 will kill the enemy quicker. So this is basically a close quarters AK-47 for the most part. Now, if we take a look at the M67 ammo, it basically turns the gun into a hybrid somewhere between the FAL and the SKS. Unfortunately, though, at every single damage range, the SKS outperforms the AMAX, and the AMAX only outperforms the FAL, basically headshots up to 22.5 meters and stomach shots up to 22.5 meters. And then I believe there is one little range right in here, which are chest shots between 45 and 52 meters. But for the most part, the FAL and the SKS will outperform the AMAX, not to mention the fact that you get half the ammo with uh, the M67. So on the whole, I would frankly just ignore the M67 ammo. Basically, they made it a novelty, and it turns an assault rifle into a potential one-shot headshot kill. But really, the SKS you can see has a faster fire rate, twice the ammo, and faster time to kill values. So really, if you're looking to have a semi-automatic, just take the SKS. It'll outperform the CR-56 all day long. So here is a quick video showing some of the ADS speeds. You can see there isn't a whole lot of idle sway. It's fairly slow, and you can see how the gun kicks pretty heavy to the left, and then it drifts back up and around to the right. So what this looks like here is, I already showed you the base recoil pattern. You can see that the M67 is basically semi-automatic. I know I put burst here. That's wrong. It's a semi-automatic. You just shoot it off as fast as your trigger will go. And you can see based off the semi-automatic, it does have a tight recoil pattern. So taking a look at the muzzle attachments now. We got the muzzles, the compensator, and then I also included here the nose stock and the rubberized grip tape, just for sense of expediting the video a little bit. And you can see here that the compensator definitely had its recoil control. The nose stock, you get a lot of extra recoil, especially in those first couple bullets, so be aware of that. The muzzle brake, frankly, didn't appear to do a whole lot. And the rubberized grip tape really sort of almost mirrored the base recoil pattern. It really didn't seem to have a major effect either. If we look at the barrel attachments, so here is where we have the intruder, the Zodiac, and the squall barrel. You can see that on the whole, the intruder is supposed to give you negative recoil. You do get a pretty substantial jump in some of these bullets here, especially these first couple. That you don't get as much with the Zodiac. But outside of that, there isn't a whole lot of difference. So if you're just keeping to the same profile, the Zodiac here really from a base recoil standpoint isn't a whole lot different than just the normal gun. The big difference here though is that you get that 40% damage range boost. Taking a look at the underbarrels, again, a lot of the attachments don't seem to have a major effect on this weapon. You still get quite a lot of first and second bullet jump and kick. The tactical foregrip here did something a little interesting. It actually sort of kicked the whole pattern to the left, and then it went straight up. You sort of didn't get that upwards left kick. And then your bipod at crouch and prone. Again, prone, the other thing here is it basically eliminates all your aim stability, so it makes it nice and tight. For the most part though, not a huge amount of recoil control help here. Now looking at the second group of underbarrels, I really liked the way that the Merc foregrip performed here. We got 3 bullets, pretty tight, right on target. Then we had a bit of a jump. But you can see here that it does beat the base recoil pattern. And the Ranger foregrip actually performed very well too. You can also see that the overall recoil was tighter for all 3 of these foregrips. So definitely take a look at using some of these. The Ranger foregrip and the Merc foregrip are probably your better options. But you don't get as much ADS speed or movement speed penalty with the Merc foregrip as you do with the Ranger, so just keep that in mind. Now, went ahead and did some test loadouts here. So the first loadout I've got is your low recoil, high accuracy build. So I've got the compensator on here, that Zodiac barrel, Merc foregrip, the Hunter with the rubberized wrap, and you can see you get a lot of bullets on target very fast, especially with the help of that compensator in the Zodiac barrel. This is a very accurate build. I've played this in multiplayer a handful of times and had a lot of success with this. Balance build number 1. Also, we put a decent amount of bullets right here on target. And this has a 45 round magazine. So in this case, a lot of the extra recoil you see here are the 15 extra bullets that you get in the magazine. So you do get some good recoil control properties, especially by having that compensator on there. Definitely helps. Overall, it's a good balanced build. You get extra ammunition, faster ADS speed, good recoil control. You get faster reload. So on the whole, it's a fairly nice balanced build. I'm going to jump over here to balance build 2. This uses a lot of some of the same. You get the compensator, you get sleight of hand, you get the movement speed with the skeleton stock. Here I went with the granulated wrap and the commando foregrip to try to get a little bit more recoil stabilization in this case. And you can see it did sort of take away a lot of that left hand kick. It just kicks a little bit to the left and then straight up. So this is a nice solid build as well. Definitely check this one out. You can see with the Warzone build, this isn't too bad. You get those 45 rounds, the thermal hybrid so that you can spot enemies at a distance, the Zodiac barrel to take advantage of the damage range boost, the suppressor to keep you off the radar, and then the stipple wrap to help you ADS a little bit quicker and get those shots off faster. Last build I have here is your fast ADS and mobility build, and you can see that you don't want to engage targets at any distance with this build because after your first shot or two you are going to be way off. The recoil's going to kick a ton. This is a lot more for an up close build. You want to put a lot of damage into the enemy pretty quick up close. You can see a lot of substantial amount of recoil here with this build. So again, this is just another recap of each of the loadouts here. This focuses sort of on that one-shot accuracy. If you want to put an optic on, we would suggest removing the stock. You could throw a VLK or a hollow reflex sight on here. This build will perform quite well for you. This is balanced build 1. This just gives an overall blend like I talked about with the extra ammo, recoil control, faster reload times. The Warzone build, this gives that damage range with the Zodiac and the monolithic suppressor, sound suppression, extra ammo, ADS speed, target acquisition, just a good overall build for Warzone. This is that high mobility build. I talked about it. Accuracy is really poor, so make sure you're really up close and personal. And the last loadout I've got here, as far as the AMAX, is this balanced build 2. I don't like looking at the chart a lot because it's not always accurate, but you can see here that it really doesn't show any negatives. It gives, on the whole, you get decent recoil, mobility, faster reload, some extra accuracy. On the whole, it's a solid build. I highly recommend this one as well. It'll perform good for you. So guys, with that, there's a ton of content here. I know I've sort of went on a lot, but with the new weapons, there's a lot to go through because they always seem to add extra stuff to the weapons. So hey, I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll sort of figure out what gun I want to work on next. And then definitely comment, like, subscribe, hit that bell notification as the later Season 4 weapon comes out. We'll get the weapon guides up for those as well, and we'll have more coming soon. Again, hey, thanks for watching. Comment, like, subscribe. Hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great day.